reason number 33 to get a Nissan. The cold. Because winter isn't done with us yet. Good thing the 2026 Nissan Rogue was built to conquer all conditions. With intelligent all-wheel drive, standard heated front seats, heated steering wheel, and heated mirrors, you can leave the worst of winter out in the cold. Lease the 2026 Nissan Rogue S starting at 0.4% for up to 36 months. Includes a 0.5% loyalty rebate for qualifying Nissan customers. Until March 2nd on approved credit. Conditions apply. Details at Nissan.
Back in the studio with Justine McIntyre filling in for Elias Makos this morning, and I'm joined by Manuel Johnson. He's a tenants' rights lawyer, and he's here in studio with me today. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So you're here to talk about an issue that's sort of been an ongoing issue for residents living in a seniors residence, the Mount Carmel residence, a standoff between residents and their landlord. And this time it's about a convenience store, or it sort of hinges on this issue of a convenience store that's gone into the building. And it's one of those cashier-less convenience stores. So where I guess you're forced to pay with your phone, or how does it work? Tell us.
Well, yes. Thank you, Justine. So this is it's a new example of how the owner really doesn't take into account the needs of the seniors that are living in this residence. So it's a convenience store, which very convenient for people with smartphones who are familiar with, information technology. You have to download an app, and then you can just walk into the store and choose what you like and walk out, and you'll automatically be billed, I imagine, to your credit card, your debit card, or something like that. So for someone who's very used to this kind of technology, it could be convenient. But for seniors, who many of them living in this residence don't have a smartphone, and even if they do, and this is one of the ongoing concerns, seniors need we all need human contact, but particularly seniors. They need to have a human being in front of them that can help them if they have a question, and to find a product or whatever. And also, the question of this automatic billing, that's going to make people very nervous, I can tell you, because another problem we've been having is the seniors who authorize the owner to go and take the rent out of their bank account. The owner's been making errors and overcharging them for rents. And this has been going on all summer. So this is obviously a convenience store which is inconvenient for seniors. And again, it's an ongoing example of how this new owner who bought the place in 2021, the end of 2021, really has no concern about the needs of those seniors who've been living there for quite some time.
I mean, that sounds like the kind of convenience store that you might find in Manhattan, for example, and certainly not everyone is comfortable with a cashier-less convenience store, let alone seniors, as you say. And I tend to agree with you that people do need human interaction. I'm big on human interaction, and I think we saw it especially during COVID. People were looking for those little moments where they could interact with another human being. One of the great pleasures during COVID was to be able to, when we were allowed, was to be able to go to the grocery store and to see another human being, even if it's in the other aisle or even if it's somebody who's behind the cash register. So for a lot of seniors who are struggling with feeling isolated, I can imagine that that's a small pleasure that they might have to be able to go to the convenience store. I just want to ask about the residents in this building. Now, this building targets seniors of what age group, and do they offer services for people who have more intensive needs? Like, what is the rate of service?
Yes, so it's a category of what we call in French an RPA, so résidence pour personnes âgées, and it's for autonomous seniors. So there's the basic security services are supposed to be in place.
Right.
There's supposed to be also leisure activities, offering opportunities exactly for the seniors to socialize and keep in good physical and mental health.
Sure. And are those being offered?
Well, that was one of the main issues. They were taken away by the new owner in 2022.
Why?
And there was no explanation given to that. One day, the seniors arrived in their big community room where they had all their activities, dance, music, community meetings, celebrate birthday parties, all that. They showed up the 1st of August, 2022, and there was a lock on the door and no explanation was given. So that's why we took the owner to court. We got a court order to oblige the owner to provide those services. One of the other issues, for example, was the 24-hour receptionist for the security of the building. That also was taken away, and no more activities were offered. So
I just have a question about that. Isn't that a requirement
It
for
is a
an
requirement.
RPA? Don't you need to have somebody at the reception and for security purposes to make sure people aren't just coming in and out?
100%.
Okay.
So there was a receptionist, but the hours were sporadic, and sometimes even seniors had a nurse coming from the CLSC, couldn't get in because the receptionist wasn't there. Or on the other hand, anybody could get in. And the other thing that the new owner did is a lot of people moved out because of these conditions, and also because, as you may be aware, the new owner was threatening the seniors with eviction. He didn't just threaten it, he gave them eviction order, saying, I'm going to convert this RPA into multi-generational housing, which is what he called it. That also we were fighting in court, and he had to backtrack on that eviction. But in the meantime, the majority of the seniors moved out. And what the owner did is now renting out those empty apartments to young people, young workers, and a lot of them who are coming in out of immigration. And this is making a real clash, a culture clash with the seniors who, they need some peace and quiet, and you have young people who are working hard and then coming back and sometimes partying hard in the evenings. So this has also caused a lot of problems. But in May of this year, the owner was found guilty on 8 counts of contempt of court because of the fact of not providing those services.
Okay.
And we're actually going to be having a hearing. We're waiting for the date. We're going to have a hearing coming up on the sanction for that very serious violation, because, everybody has to respect court judgments. That's the basis of our democracy and our legal system.
Yeah.
If you go to court and you lose and it's just voluntary, if you follow the judgment or not, then what's the point of going to court?
Of course not.
So that's why this convenience store really, maybe taken on its own, if it was just that, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But it's just, again, our clients, these seniors, they feel that their dignity, their rights have not been respected since the end of 2021. And even when we win in court, it doesn't seem to change anything. So a lot of them are getting very discouraged. So then seeing this store that the owner announces with great pomp and circumstance, saying, yeah, but this store is not for us. This is for the other people.
Right.
And this is another sign that he wants us to all leave so he can rent out our apartments like he's done the other apartments at substantially higher rent.
Is there no protection, though, given that the building was functioning as an RPA? Is there no protection on that function of the building?
Unfortunately, the law does not provide that protection. So generally, people can buy RPAs and convert them into regular housing. They just have to give some compensation to the tenants, but where are they going to go? In this case, the new owner, when he bought, it's a company, right? But it's controlled by a certain individual. But when the company bought it, the previous owner, he cared about the residents. And he said, okay, you want to buy this? Fine. It's not for sale. But then the new owner made an offer he couldn't refuse, a very high, paid $40 million for the building.
Wow.
Okay. But the old owner took care to put in the deed of sale a promise, an engagement that he would maintain the function of RPA. And it's on that basis that we were able to go to court and get this court order and fight against the eviction, only because of that contractual obligation. But the law, unfortunately, doesn't protect all the other seniors in the RPAs all over Quebec.
Very interesting. Thank you so much for coming in to speak with us today. We've been speaking to Manuel Johnson. He's a tenants' rights lawyer about an RPA that looks like it's being slowly converted and trying to stop that from happening and protect the residents' interests. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks again for having me.